What's up guys, Bob Outdoors here from Team BooneDOX USA, and I want to show you a new product that BooneDOX USA has released, and it is called the Groovy landing gear. I'm gonna go ahead and do an unboxing video, and I'm gonna go ahead and install this on my Native Titan 12. As you know, Native Titans are pretty heavy boats, and if you need to launch your kayak from your vehicle to the launch, a landing gear is ideal. It will make your life a lot easier. I'm gonna go ahead and remove my old landing gear right here, and we're gonna go ahead and install the new landing gear. But first, we're gonna go do an unboxing video. So as you can see in the box over here, this landing gear is very well packed, and it looks like I have the standard edition over here. I'm gonna go ahead and tape this by cutting it with a scissor. We have the instruction manual right here. Gives you all the information you need to install your landing gear. So right there. We got backing plates over here. We have the two wheels over here. And looks like these wheels are airless. So pretty cool. We don't need to pump air for these ones. As you can see, this legs is totally different from the old ones. And it has this square tubing welded into it. Let me make sure we have this more organized right here. The legs, the wheels. Now these are the new knuckles for the landing gear. As you can see, these things have groove tracks all the way around. Pretty slick, isn't it? We have two of these. And we have a support bar. No more the orange support bar in the middle. It's a totally square support bar with a gear track right on top. And there's a lot of questions on how to add gear track accessories right on top of this if both ends are closed. Now, from understanding that the gap here in the middle is a lot larger than the normal gear track, as you can see. So that way, when you put your T-bolt in here, you can slide it in and then turn it to the side and it will still lock down. We'll go ahead and install this and see how this works. We have your C-clamp locks for securing the wheels. And we have our L brackets that we're going to use to mount onto my boat. More bungee accessories over here to lock your wheels in place. And we have hardware, a decal, and more backing plates. I'm not gonna go ahead and take this out here. I'm gonna keep it as it is. But this is for mounting inside the hole for mounting on different type of boats that don't have a gear track system. So I'm gonna keep this right here with the backing plates. Not gonna be using it, and I'll probably give it to somebody that will need to use it. Just to lay it out, everything we have here: two wheels, two legs, two Groovy track knuckles, gear track support bar, 4 L brackets, hardware, bungee cords, and BooneDOX decal. Slick. Let's get on with this install. Now, as you can see in my boat over here, I have a trolling motor over here. So the gear tracks on top is something that I need in order to put my pulley system for pulling my kayak back and forth. I'm gonna go ahead and unscrew this. Now, as you can see, my old BooneDOX, I have the C-Tug wheels. To me, this is something that actually works very well, especially when I'm pulling my kayak in really rough terrain. It really helps. Now I'm gonna go ahead and remove these gear tracks over here. And there we go. Old system is now off. Now we're gonna go ahead and grab the new system and lay it out. So let's go ahead and install this first the correct way before we mount it onto the gear tracks over here. These right here go in the bottom. You see these set holes right here? And the ones closest to the edge go inside the middle of the boat. So if you take a look at this way, and make sure that this gear track is pointing downwards so it mounts this way. You see how it is right now? Okay, and then you want to flip it over, and that's how it's going to look when you install it. Now I'm going to go ahead and put the set screw on with some of the bolts over here. Some of these set screws over here, really small, and we're going to go ahead and preset it for now. Not going to tighten it just yet. So what I'm going to do is going to go ahead and put these set screws right here inside, and I'm not going to tighten it yet, because I want to make sure that I put this gear track, adjust the gear track exactly how I want it before I set the screw in tight. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and flip it over this way on top, and we're going to go ahead and get these I don't know what these things are called, but they go into the gear tracks, one on each side. You gotta make sure that the indent is pointing outward so it slides into the gear. See the indent right here? Slides outside of the gear track. And we're gonna go ahead and get these bolts over here, the short bolts, with a locking washer, and mount it from the inside of this L bracket. Again, we're not going to tighten it just yet. We won't tighten it until we make sure everything is fit correctly, and then we'll tighten it at the end. Okay, not tight. And remember, I still have my old T-bolts over here. We're gonna go ahead and put right on top. Now it's nice and secured. Okay, not totally tight. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side over here. All right. So the way I like to position my landing gear is to keep the gear pretty much as close as possible to the back, or to these foam grips. That's because I'm not a very tall guy, so I don't need the boat or the seat to move back as much as possible. As you can see, it's not set yet, so I can still slide everything back and forth. Before I put the legs in and fully lock it down, let's go ahead and pre-tighten these T-bolts over here. One thing I want to keep in mind is that because I already have these T-bolts for my old system, these T-bolts don't come in the landing gear. So if you're upgrading from older landing gear, you can use the same hardware. But if you don't have the hardware, then you can buy these KAYAK Attack 6-pack Mighty Bolts. And these work perfectly, just fine. You see, these are exactly the one I'm using right now. So now everything's now pre-tightened. Go ahead and install the legs. And we got legs. Now these legs, they go to a specific side, so you got to figure it out. I don't think they're labeled right now, but one goes on the left and one goes to the right. So make sure you figure out which way do you need it. So now I want to go ahead and figure out how I want this landing gear to be tightened. Now for me, I like to have this completely flush over here. For me, that just gives me the best support option when I'm using the landing gear. So I'm gonna go ahead and wiggle this all the way in there, and I'm gonna do the same with this side. Make sure that I get it. I want at least right within an inch. That's like 3/4 of an inch. A little bit more than 3/4 of an inch. There you go, 3/4 of an inch. And let's go ahead and lock this down. Now, strongly advise you to use lock washers to make sure that you have a good tight fit, and that the vibration of your boat, especially when you're transporting it, doesn't loosen up these bolts. So if you don't have the locking wash nut for your T-bolts, go get some before you install it. Protect your investment. And I'm just gonna tighten it where you see the locking nut flatten out and it doesn't move no more. Don't over tighten it, because this L brackets are made out of plastic and you don't want to cause any stress cracks on it. Okay, now we've done that. What we want to do now is go ahead and tighten up gear tracks over here. And like I said, I like mine to be as close as possible over here to the seat. I'm gonna keep right this L bracket kind of lined right here. Same with the other side. And for me, the closer it is to the front, the easier it is to balance your boat when you're moving it around. Now we have one more piece to tighten down. It's that we have a couple set screws in the bottom here that we need to tighten down for the support bar in the middle. Now, if you remember, it's upside down, so you just gotta put your hand underneath and feel for the set screw and get your L wrench and just tighten it down. Okay, that's all tight, nice and tight. So as you can see, the landing gear is installed. Pretty nice, huh? Now, one of the complaints that people had before with these bungee cords is that it used to fly out. Now, my solution for this is to use Velcro or zip ties and then just zip tie it down. Now, when you're transporting your landing gear, you can go ahead and put the hooks here on one side and the hooks on the other side. Now this will ensure that your landing gear will not come out when you're transporting it. Now, if you're like me that likes to improve your stuff every time, then what I do is actually upgrade my wheels. Take out these wheels, and I'm using these C-Tug wheels. These C-Tug wheels are just phenomenal. They don't float, but they make taking off the wheels a lot easier while your boat's in the water, and rolling your boat around rough terrain, it is that much easier. And that's it. That is all to it. I'm going to show you how to install a T-bolt mounted accessory right on top of this gear track on the support bar. As you can see, you stick out the gear track or the T-bolt out quite a bit, and you're going to put it in and slide it in that way, and it fits. What you do is go ahead and just tighten it down, and I'm just going to mount it right here in the center. As you can see, it is now nice and tugged. And I got my GoPro boomstick right here, and I'm gonna mount it right on top, right there. So that way I can have a bird's eye view on my boat. Isn't that pretty slick? Yeah, it's probably gonna get in the way in the middle, but I just thought that was pretty cool to have it right on top. And the possibility of adding more accessories on this gear track is actually endless. I probably plan to put more Scotty mount rocket tubes over here for additional rod holders. It'll be pretty cool. If you're interested in getting your own set, please check your local kayak retailer to see if they have it in stock. Support your local kayak retailer first in your small businesses. They're the reasons why they're still in business if you guys are actually supporting them. If you don't have a kayak retailer in your area, then you can go ahead and order your BooneDOX from BooneDOXUSA.com. Thank you for watching my channel, and this is my install for the Groovy Tracks landing gear. Sweet, isn't it?